Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Laura gets the gold star today for being the first comment in the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness, another Wednesday already. I can't even believe it. I feel like we just did this. It has been a crazy week, kind of sort of, but either way. Hello, Lissa. Good to see you. Either way, we are here. It is Wednesday. You have made it to halfway through the work week. Congratulations. It's time for us to hang out and chat for an hour, which I am always so excited about. And I have some things to share, I guess. I was actually going to share them as a YouTube video, like a filmed YouTube video, and I might still do that. But why not? It sounds like I can probably have this conversation here too as well. Susan, hello. Don't know what the topics are tonight, but I shared some how to move out of the state chips. Anxiety is through the roof. Would be so appreciated. Okay, we can dive into some of that. Kim is here. Hello, Katie, I presume. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Jordan. Hello, my friends. So let's get started right away with highs and lows for the week. This is where we are given the opportunity to be able to share something good that's happened to us, the highlight of our week with the community. And then on the flip side, if you want to share something that was a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a downer, the low point of your week, I would love to hear about those as well. Hi, Caitlin. Thank you. Okay. My high, I think I was trying to think about like what was my high this week, other than the fact that I don't even remember what day of the week I made these. I made world's greatest lemon bars this past week. Oh my gosh, so good. Still enjoying them as a dessert because there's only two of us and my husband doesn't really like them. They're a little too intense for him. So they're literally, it was a 9x13 pan of lemon bars that I'm like single-handedly trying to get rid of, which is awesome. But I honestly want to say the highlight of my week was probably my doctor's appointment. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen like the little thing that I said about it, about how the one thing that was really interesting to me about my doctor's appointment, which I'll talk about in depth in a little bit, but was the way she responded to me when I was talking about how I was really struggling to lose weight. And I was like, I'm doing everything right. I can literally show you calorie logs, macros from every single day since the end of January. And she goes, I believe you. And so I was telling her what I was doing. And I was like, and not like the weight just won't come off. And P.S. that this is a struggle I'm having. The weight is not coming off. So she actually looked at me and instead of being like, oh, well, we can put you on this medication, we can do X, Y, Z, whatever. She said, well, could you just be happy at the weight you're at? And for reference, the weight that I am at puts me just over obese on the uh, BMI scale. That's the word. The BMI scale. We all know that the BMI scale is crap. So much so that I can't even say it apparently. But like technically, it bumps me just over into the obese category. And she looks at me and she goes, "Could you just be happy here at this weight?" And it got me thinking. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And my low was probably the blood test that followed. Got my blood drawn Tuesday, and which was yesterday, and I got stuck 4 times. I have a bruise. Wow, you can actually I didn't realize you could see it that bad. You can see 2 of the 4 holes I got and the bruise. I don't think you can see anything on this arm really. No. The winning vein was the dot in the back of my hand. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can. Center of my dot was the winning vein. And my blood test results came back, and my low it's not really low. It is just something that was like, oh, kind of a bummer to hear, but actually super informative. And my coach and I have made some very educated and informed decisions because of it. And I'll get to that in a second as well. Um, Switched water bottles, and I've been killing my water goal. I feel like that's too much, Lissa. I feel like that's too much. If you start to have some like weird, and I don't know what the symptoms of overhydrating are, but just be aware. Just be aware. Breakthroughs in my nutrition, and I feel good in general. Lows, feeling exhausted. I get that. I get that. My suspected food poisoning my nanny family got was not food poisoning, and I ended up getting sick after recovering from that in a 92-degree house. Oh man, no thanks. Send me some lemon bars. They were, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they were so good. They are dreamy. I'm not tired of them yet. I eat them every day, and I'm not tired of them. Every single day I sit down, I'm like, this is the best freaking thing I've ever made. Every time I sit down with them. They're so good. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Ouch. Yeah, tell me about it. What a refreshing response. I know. And that was the shocking thing to me. And we can talk about that in just a second. I just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to share their stuff. Your low is binging. Okay. That's a hard thing. Golfer's elbow's gone. Yes. Took 9 months and a cortisone shot. You know, my grandfather swears by those cortisone shots sometimes. Hearing Lissa's drinking way more. Kim, we worked on this. Get your water in. Water's always been a thing for you. Only drinking when thirsty. You're right. So you are probably way more dehydrated. Yeah. So that tracks. Just make sure that you're being aware of how you're feeling, because I don't want you to overdo it. But that's awesome that you're getting the hydration you need given the house circumstance that you are in. That's great. So first thing, I guess, I have some questions pre-populated. We never finished my list last week. We will address Susan's question. Well, we'll try. Actually, let me do that first. So Susan asked about, let me go back up. She asked about how to move out of state. Has anybody else moved out of state? Because here's the reality. I've moved out of state multiple times, actually. The first time we hired a moving truck. I think, and I don't even remember, because here's the thing. Moving out of my parents' house, I left to go to Florida before my stuff disappeared, I think. So my parents managed the movers for that, and then the movers brought my stuff to North Carolina. When we moved to Chicago, we had to do it in a weird, discombobulated way, because we actually went to Japan for an extended period of time first, and then lived with friends for a little bit. So we ended up using a pod system, and the pods were actually really, really great. But then when we moved to Minnesota from Illinois, we had a relocation package from my husband's new job. And so they did literally everything. So that's why I'm saying I'm not actually a really good reference for it, because I wasn't even around. Like, I helped get the house ready for kind of show-ish, or in our condo, I mean. But by the time the movers came, I was already in Minneapolis. My husband went back home to deal with the movers, but they packed everything for us, and they moved everything for us and whatever. And so I didn't see my stuff until it showed up at the house. So I'm a really bad reference. I'm doing all the packing. Let me be honest with you. If we move again, my husband will be doing a majority of the packing, as evidenced by the fact that there's a pretty solid chance now that we're not moving. And when we thought immediately that we were going to be moving, he packed up a bunch of things that we didn't need, because he wanted to be the one to pack it, you know? So it is stressful. Take it. Oh, here's one thing I will say, and I don't know when the last time you moved was, but definitely label each box in big letters for the room that it is supposed to go in, and have the movers put it in that room, so you're not lugging things around, you know? And make sure those boxes are, I would say, pretty full. But like, we ended up doing some sort, when we pack, we do like, if it's fragile, heavy things, we'll like shove like a towel or something in there to make sure everything is packed in tightly and secure. But sometimes you don't want it to get too heavy, so you use like other fabrics and things like that, you know? Um, My early days of my career, company moved me. I was already at the new city and the movers did everything. Yeah. So that's really like be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're retired, so you at your leisure can do the unpacking. But just be have patience with yourself, get a little bit done every day until you go. When is go time? If you don't mind me asking, what day is moving day? Um, let's see. I know I skipped through some things. Awalo are the best. Make drinking water so much. What makes it so special? What makes it so special? When I was 13, we moved, had 2 trips. Both my parents went down together so they could return the truck. Oh, interesting. Shipped some things, but I moved only with a carry-on bag. August 23rd. That's so exciting. That's so soon. That's so soon. Drink plentiful amounts of coffee, go at your own pace, and enjoy the journey. Just this when for me, when I am in a stressed out situation, like I have a launch happening in 2 days, you guys. In 2 days. My freaking group coaching waitlist opens up and like I'm having the oh my gosh, there's still so many things to get done. I want to have the Facebook group up and running by the time people can sign up, and then I have this fear that like no one's gonna sign up, and like all of these things. But enjoy the journey, focus on the end goal, and remember that, because that's the exciting part, right? Chug lid. Oh, see, I don't like chug lids. I don't like chug lids. I use straws exclusively. um So let's talk about what my doctor said for a hot second. Oh, hang on. I have to respond to my husband's text message. No, I sprayed. He's asking me if he's supposed to clean the shower floor. Um, sorry. I was homemaking today. Oh, Susan. Susan. So, first of all, does the crying help you feel better? Sometimes a good cry helps. Like, in all honesty, like, you can be like, "Okay, I cried out the emotions." There's, like, a whole bunch of, like, neurochemical things that happen when you cry, which is why sometimes crying feels good, like, something that feeling of, like, you just need a good cry? There's something chemically that happens when you do that. So if it feels better after you do it, then have a cry. It's fine. It's fine. Um, but just do the best you can. Do the best you can. And just focus on the end. You're gonna live in one of my favorite cities in the United States of America. So good things, all good things. Okay, so let's hear about my doctor. So, it was just the whole process of it and everything. I explained to her what was going on. I explained to her that I wasn't losing weight and that these both of these things are related. Um, and that I was like, I suspect, I've been thinking for a while, but I suspect, is it at all possible, do you think, that maybe the CMT is causing my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, actually be lower? Does the CMT, do you think? Nobody can tell me this for sure. So using your educated guess, doctor professional, do you think that maybe CMT is slowing my metabolism down? And she said, that could entirely be a possibility. 100% that is a possibility. So, okay, great. Just to make sure everything was normal, she asked me about my period. Does it show up on time? And I go plus or minus 2 to 3 days, but yeah. And she goes, okay, so it's probably not hormonal. The weight issue is not hormonal. Most likely. She goes, let me test you for thyroid. Let me test you for cortisol. I thought, interestingly, I took the Everlywell metabolism test around the same time. And actually, oh, now I can't remember what my TSH was, but my cortisol clocked in really, really low. But I took that test at 6:30 PM. I actually got called by the lab and said, "Come early, you have a morning cortisol test, so 10:40 is too late." So I came in at like 8:30. And my cortisol tested normal. It was lower, but it was normal. My TSH was normal. Everything was normal. Everything came back normal. I was like, "Okay." Like, part of me wanted there to be something wrong because it would explain what the heck was happening, right? But anyway, so she ordered all those things, and then there was one other test result, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But so when I was telling her, about all these things, and like I did the super super low calories. I'm like, I really don't want to do that again. Like, I don't want to do that because that's unhealthy. And, all that. And I was like, I could show you my food records. I could show you the weigh-ins. Like, I'd lose a little bit and then it spiked back up and it would just stay there. Like, I just don't know what to do. And then that's when she looked at me and went, "Do you think you could be happy at this weight?" And I was like, honestly, I've thought about it. And I was like, and I'm not saying that I want to get down to like I went over, she already knew this, but I went over my whole weight loss history with her. I'm like, at my lowest, I was 135 pounds, which we all know was far, far too skinny for me. I was like, I would really just love to have 20 pounds off my back. I just want to feel a little bit more comfortable in the clothes that are in my closet. And it's just frustrating that all of this effort is going into seeing absolutely no results. I don't, and I don't know why, which is why she's like, all right, well, let's test you. But we did have the talk of, she looked at me and she goes, you're completely healthy. You eat healthy. You exercise regularly. Your test results are always normal. Your A1C is beautiful. My A1C, I texted my diabetic family. There's a handful of diabetics in my family. I texted them my A1C results, and my sister was like, "Boo," because hers is a lot higher than mine is, and so like, it felt good. Like I'm by the books. I'm healthy, and so she's like, so it's not in her mind. It's not a priority at all. She's like, if you didn't lose weight, it would be fine. You can live like this. And it was just one of those things that, like, I've said it a million times. I usually say it to the people who are trying to tell me, oh, I have the last 10 pounds to lose. What do I do to get off the last 10 pounds? That's when I normally will approach people and be like, do you really need to lose the last 10 pounds? What is it about the last 10 pounds that for you makes you feel compelled to get to that number? And usually it's just the number on the scale. That's usually their own, like, oh, I just want to see 135, 140, whatever it is. That was me. I clawed my way to 135 because I wanted to see the freaking number, right? So I've been there. I understand. I've been there. Um, but I usually ask that of like the people who lose 10 pounds, who need to lose the last 10 pounds, not the people who like me could afford to lose a lot. Quite a bit. I carry my weight really, really. She even said, she goes, your your muscle tone looks good. You don't look overweight. Like I look a little bit overweight, but like she's like, really, truly, you don't need to, even though the BMR or BMI scale says, I keep getting BMI and BMR mixed up now because I use BMR so much more frequently. She goes, even though the BMI says kapui, you should lose a lot of weight, you don't have to. And I was just like, and even like I said, even though I say it to people, and even though I'm to the point of like, I don't have a goal weight in mind, I just want to get some weight off and see what my body does. There's something that hits different hearing it from a medical professional in a world where so many people get told by their medical professionals that their weight is the problem. And so I walked out of that doctor's office. I was like, praise God for her falling into my lap. My original PCP appointment was supposed to be with a different doctor. And they moved my appointment because this particular individual was going to be available sooner. And I am so glad. I am so glad that that happened because this woman is an angel sent from God himself. And she's wonderful. She actually she actually was telling me she has a nutrition coach and stuff too. And she got one shortly after seeing me last year. And she was telling me about like her tracking and her stuff. And like we had a whole like just legit conversations. The time before that, I loved her because she was telling me about the Halloween stuff so I must have gone last October. Um, Halloween stuff she was doing for her kids, and she had cross earrings in her ears, and I was like, she's a Christian. She heard of the first time I saw her, she had heard of CMT, which was a big win in my like this woman is an angel. And then this experience, and it was just so different having a doctor say you don't have to lose weight if you don't want to. Could you just be happy here because you're healthy and you're fine? And I was just like, it was just one of those things that's like, how many of us, myself included, don't stop to think that? Don't stop to think that. And it's one of those things that, especially with the scale mindset, man, in my mindset and macros group coaching, this is one of the first things we're talking about is the scale. Um, and it was just, I felt like, no pun intended, a giant weight had been lifted off of my shoulders because now it wasn't even medical that I needed to get a little healthier. I don't need to get healthier. I'm healthy as a freaking horse except for the whole CMT thing. Like, I'm good, which is amazing. Now, full transparency, I'm still trying to lose weight, and actually we made some macro changes today that were pretty dramatic, but are good, and that leads me into the next thing I learned. This is where the anti-diet people have things right. BMI doesn't necessarily indicate health. No, it doesn't. I'm a perfectly healthy individual. Perfectly healthy, except for the progressive disability, but that's, other than that, um, partially because I'm scared of the words diabetes and pre-diabetes. Yeah, and it's interesting. One of the other things that happened with my blood work, my cholesterol got higher, which freaked me out because it was high. Like, it had the little warning sign on the test results last year. And my certain cholesterol numbers got higher this year. And I was like, what? Like, everything else looks beautiful except for one metric. Everything else looks beautiful. What the heck, cholesterol? My blood sugar, so perfect. It is the gold star of A1C and blood sugar levels. So good. What the heck, cholesterol? Like, I don't eat perfectly. I'll be honest. I don't eat perfectly. I had a lemon bar for dessert. But, like, I eat pretty freaking well. I eat pretty freaking well. Healthy fats mostly, right? Grass-fed butter, avocado, olive oil, things of that nature, I read like, the how do you get your cholesterol down? Full fat dairy is one of the things that you shouldn't have all the time. And I am guilty of that. So I was like, oh, do I have to cut back on my cheese? Which is fine, but I don't know the like actual like perfect lower your cholesterol diet. Like, it's also like, eat fiber. I get at least 20 grams of fiber every single day. Like, I'm doing okay. I don't understand cholesterol. I don't understand. Part of it was new when I got COVID. I gained so much weight. Yeah, I mean, get your always. It's super important whether we're afraid of the scale or not. I thought I was going to get a lecture because I weighed more than I did last year. It was like 5 pounds. And granted, I had like drinking my coffee and whatever. So, like, it wasn't even, I was up like 2.5 pounds from what I weighed on the scale that morning. But, like, it was still not down after I declared to her that I was going to start losing weight in January. Like, it wasn't down. I imagine Oprah went for so long with undiagnosed thyroid problem with the best doctors in the world. Doctors actually told her learn to eat less. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing she said to me. When I was telling her, well, I started my diet, I started my cut at 1,800 calories. She looked at me and she went, have you tried 1,900 calories? I I could have jumped out of the chair and hugged her because, again, never in my life. 1,800 sounds really high for a deficit, right? That's where I started. But for her to go like, but actually, have you tried to eat more for your weight loss? I was like, who is this woman? Who is this woman? She's the best. So yeah, that was oh my gosh. Everything looked normal. Anyone want to guess which test they forgot to actually enter? Oh no. That's the worst. Um, we never discussed it. My old doctor said something to me when I asked, and he told me to join Weight Watchers. So the test result that I got back that came in low, I got a little warning sign on my basic metabolic panel. It was for creatinine. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is a byproduct of the creatine that your body naturally creates. And mine, typically, warning signs of that are people who have too much of it, and it can signify a kidney disorder of some kind. Mine clocked in well below normal. And I was like, "Oh, what does that mean? What does it mean when you are below normal on creatinine?" So I Googled it, and actually, let me tell you exactly what it said because I sent it to my mother. Uh, Low creatinine levels mean something is affecting the creatine production in the body. This will, excuse me, often result from a person having low muscle mass or body weight. There's more, but like, that's where we need to stop. I obviously don't have low body weight, but remember when I've suspected that my muscles were really not that, and like, normal, and like there was probably there and we know there's less of it, and maybe that's what's affecting my metabolism. I literally have on a test result something that shows that the result is caused by having lower muscle mass. And so that literally just kind of solidified everything for me, that went like, okay, so your body's actually responding as though you don't have normal levels of muscle. Like your body knows this about you. Look at, you have a test result that proves that your body knows this about you. So that kind of, my doctor hasn't responded to any of the results yet. And I don't know if she will. I thought for sure she'd at least respond to like the cholesterol one or something, or at least be like, see, everything's fine. Go on your merry way doing what you're doing. Reminder, you don't have to lose any weight. But so maybe I'll message her tomorrow if I don't hear from her. But that creatinine thing made me go, fascinating. Is there, so I don't know. And the irony of it all was the day before my blood draw. I'm having Fab Four smoothies this week. Care. Yeah, I'm having Fab Four smoothies this week, and in my Fab Four smoothie, I pre-do all of like the dry stuff. I put creatine right in it before I saw the test result of this. I was like, I gotta get my creatine on, man, and get this muscle building going. So I put creatine in my drink the day before my blood test, and consecutively the rest of the week we'll have creatine in it as well. I don't know what level that's going to help. Like obviously what you have to do, do you say you started it? Are you liking it? Are you having results? Tell me more. So I don't know what they can do about it. I mean, I need to put more muscle on my body. That's what I can do about it, which is beautifully ironic if you think about it. But all of that to say, you guys, the people that decide to watch my live streams, are going to be the ones that are privy to this information. Knowing what we know now and understanding that my body is not responding like a normal, able-bodied human being, that my body acknowledges that my muscle mass is low, my coach and I, have decided to knock my calories a lot. Because we were talking about back and forth last night after I got my test results, and I was like, Mindy, I was thinking about it. And the time that I had, when I was like, oh, before I started like really dieting, and the instance that trashed my metabolism was being on Weight Watchers and actually like losing the 57 pounds. I still lost pretty slowly, roughly half a pound to a quarter a pound a week, most weeks. So slow and steady won that race. But that was before I had actually lingered and lived in a sustained state of low calories, and I still needed the low calories. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, shoot. Mayhaps. That's maybe and perhaps, in case you are wondering. I don't know if I've ever actually used that term. It's something I picked up from my husband. Maybe that's what my body requires to actually shed fat. So today, we dropped my calories to 1,300. 1,300. Because we're going to see. We're going to see if that does anything. And if it doesn't do anything after a couple of weeks, we're like, well, that wasn't it. Okay, cool. But if that's what my body needs to kick it into high gear. So your girl, I don't even want to say kicking and screaming. I'm not happy about it, but I'm willing to do it because I'm so tired of not seeing the results that I'm putting in the work for. So your girl's back on a freaking low calorie diet. My macros are 120 protein, 110 carbs, and 47 fat, I think. Low, which is so strange because I can maintain on 2,000 calories. So why can't I lose on a normal number? I don't know. But that's what we're learning. So we're trying that because we're like, okay, obviously your body is registering that something is off about your muscle mass. So let's use that and see if that makes a difference. So we docked my calories. So your girl is officially back in low calorie mode. And what we're going to do, if this approach works, what we're going to do is we're going to do like 4 or 5 week stints and then do like a weekend of upped calories to kind of refeed me every handful of weeks. Because if it takes the more dramatic calorie deficit, then we have to diet break more frequently. So that's the update, the confidential information, because I'm not telling everybody how many calories I'm eating or anything. But how crazy is it that because of that one thing, it affects the metabolism so much? Everything else came back normal. Everything else. I was like, well, that's why people get your blood work done, because it paints the picture for you. You don't actually know what's going on, you know? Um, have a house across the country and begin seeing this doctor. She's an angel. Having low results for certain tests. For some things, there's such a focus on levels being too high. Yep. They're not regulated. Please make sure. Oh, yeah. No, creatine is actually one of the most studied supplements out there. So it draws water in muscles and helps with endurance. Not mind blowing, but I find I am able to lift heavier. Did your scale weight go up at all? Yeah, it's extensive research regarding safely. Yep. And I've been on and off of creatine for years. I just don't take it consistently because it's a nuisance. Because I don't want to just throw it in water. It doesn't dissolve. So you have to like spin it around and then chug it. And then you like have particles. So I never remember to take it unless I'm having a smoothie. If I'm having a smoothie, I blend it right into the smoothie. I've also blended it into yogurt, but it's a major pain otherwise. My body didn't need more calories. Yeah. And that's just, that could be why. That could be why. I don't know what shift, or maybe there wasn't ever a shift. Because like, let's be honest, let's think about my history for a minute. I hit goal before I started all of my content, and my weight has been slowly increasing since then. So the really, really sad truth might be, and like all this whole process is going to happen all at once. I'm dropping my calories down 1,300. Gonna see if it works. At the same time, I got really motivated to start lifting heavy again because I literally have a test result that's like, hey, you don't have enough muscle in your body. Go get more. So I need to do everything under my power to go and get that muscle. So I'm going to do the calorie deficit, going to do, and granted, it's best to do muscle gains in a calorie surplus, but we're going to tackle one thing at a time. Going to do the muscle gaining thing, and hopefully that'll boost my metabolism a little bit. And then maybe ultimately what has to happen is girl has to lose weight in extreme calorie deficit, but girl can maintain at a much higher place. Maybe that's my future. I don't know, but that's what's happening right now. And so today was day 1 of doing that. And I clocked in at 1,300 calories, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I didn't notice the scale increase. Interesting. Dietary advice isn't universal. A lot of people might have to watch sodium. My sister has to eat. Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of people that go over on sodium or under on sodium instead of over. There's everything is personalized, which is again why I've been working with a coach. And Mindy and I even acknowledge, because we actually bumped me down. I've been doing 1550, which is below my BMR. And that's not by the book, that she and I know, the certification that we have. But we were noticing that for me, like obviously by the book wasn't working. So what do? We have to go off script if by the book is not working, and figure out what does work. So we have been constantly experimenting, trying to figure out what that thing is that makes my body tick. The first thing that made my body tick was the diet break that I just went on. I dropped like 2.5, 3 pounds, something dramatic in like a matter of days, and which was amazing. But then I had one day of lifting weights, and I ate, I think the thing that did it, we went out and had a food truck thing that was like a grilled cheese and with ham and apple on it. It was so good. And I had a bag of really salty potato chips. And my weight spiked back up, and I haven't been able to get it back down. Admittedly, I don't know what my weight is because I asked if I could take a week off of weighing because it was messing with my head. So I'm not weighing this week, just to let myself focus on the thing. See, even the coach needs the break from the scale and the stuff every once in a while. So here's the thing about that. I don't actually remember if that was tested. But I also I'm literally going in and looking up my test results right now. I reordered my favorite vitamin D, vitamin K combo supplement because you want to take vitamin K with vitamin D. That's how it gets absorbed most efficiently. I just reordered some and started taking it daily yesterday again because I know vitamin D also helps with energy levels. What am I looking for? My health records. Um, I don't know. I don't remember because I got what did I get? I got the basic metabolic panel. I got tested for various hepatitis antibodies because apparently those vaccines are proving to wear off and the CDC recommends you get them if you don't have antibodies. My calcium was normal. CO2 was normal. Chloride, potassium, sodium. I didn't have any of the vitamins run. Just the basic metabolic panel. A1C, lipid panel, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, antibodies. Interestingly, I have antibodies for one but not the other. I had to go to prescription strength vitamin D. Interesting. And what did that do for you, Susan? How did that help you? But yeah, so I thought that was it was an interesting weekend, I guess, of medical information for me between seeing my doctor and then getting the test results and stuff yesterday and making those changes. And we pulled the trigger on those changes immediately. Mindy and I were talking back and forth last night, and I was like, oh, I'll wait till next week. And then she messaged me, she goes, you want to just do your new macros today? And I was like, yes, please. Let's do that. So we did. And so we'll see. I will keep you, the live stream community, updated on how that's going. So fingers crossed. Pray for me that this is the thing that actually works because I would just I've literally been at this since the end of January and have 0.0 pounds to show for it. And it's frustrating when you're actually doing the work and you have nothing to show for it. It's so wildly frustrating. So this might be the thing. We just got to bump it down. All the way down. Yeah. Yeah. So that is and again, I am no medical professional, but I can't remember where I heard that before. Maybe it was in a Body Love book or I don't even remember, but vitamin D is is absorbed better with vitamin K. So it behooves you to get yourself a vitamin D, vitamin K supplement, combo supplement. Now, foods, D, and K. Let's see. This is what I take. And it's $15 for 60 capsules. So this is my all-time favorite supplement brand. Hashtag not sponsored. I wish they'd sponsor me. We've gone through a handful of bottles of that. My husband started taking it when we heard that vitamin D was also helpful for staving off COVID. Doesn't hurt you if you take extra vitamin D, so might as well. So he took it for a while too. Interesting. I did not know that about breast cancer and vitamin D. All right. We're going to open the floor. This is what's going to work for me. I'm not a doctor either, but it's logical. And that's what multiple people have said. And that's what my husband said. My husband has said it before everyone else. He's like, babe, I think with your CMT, you're eating too many calories. You're eating too many calories. Because he's very kind and he will never say that he's noticed that my weight has not changed. But how has he not noticed that my weight has not changed? He's definitely noticed it. He's just never said anything about it. But he has gone a couple times, babe, I think you need lower calories with the CMT. That's got to be it. It just makes sense. And this test, it wasn't a muscle-based test, but this test acknowledged that there was not enough muscle mass in my body to make my levels normal. So that's what we're trying. So I'm going to feed off of Kim's optimism. This is what's going to work for me. And actually just get this done. And I would just love to can we just shed some of it so I can be done? That'd be great. Thank you. That's what I want. So anyway, Q&A time. Ask me anything, my friends. Of course, you guys here in the comment section get priority, but I do have a couple of pre-populated comments, questions, whatever. Let's actually start with an overrated, underrated, favorite, least favorite that I keep forgetting to do. It's been sitting here for like a month. Overrated, underrated, favorite, least favorite summer beverage. Is it fair that um I have several answers for several of these things. Um so is that fair that I have two answers for some, or two answers are the same answer? So I think that the most overrated, honestly, y'all are gonna go. I think the most overrated summer beverage is iced coffee. I really do. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's also my favorite summer beverage. I think I love me some iced coffee. I only drink it in the summertime. Iced coffee is wonderful, but I think it's highly overrated. Um, so there's that. As for, I want to see this. Told to take D. 5 years of being cancer. That's an amazing high, Kim. Congratulations. That's such a big deal. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. Um, the most underrated summer beverage, in my opinion, is water. And that one just came to me. Like, I don't know that I know an underrated. Oh, yes, I do. People are so focused trying to drink their hard seltzers and their beers and their iced coffees that they forget that like the most important thing that you need to be drinking all the time, but especially in summer, as evidenced by Alyssa's drinking 2 billion gallons of water every day. Water in hot weather is so important. I'm banging on the counter if you can't hear it. So it's highly underrated, I think. People focus so much. Hey, Rosie. Um, People focus so much on the other summer beverages that they fail to be like, actually, water first, man. So overrated, iced coffee. Underrated, uh, water. Favorite, also iced coffee, because I can't think of anything else. I don't think I have another favorite summer beverage. I do like some iced peach tea once in a while, but it's not a must have in any sort of way. I do iced tea in the summer times, but like I would gravitate towards iced coffee over iced tea. I also like the Starbucks refreshers. Very, very good. And again, I only order hot beverage or cold beverages in the wintertime, summertime. Oh my gosh, my brain is fried, you guys. What is going on? Um, oh, lemonade. Lemonade's a good one. I don't like lemonade, but lemonade's a good one. Which is funny because I like lemon water, but I will never order a lemonade. And I don't know why. Like, it's because there's sugar in it, I think. I'm just like, I don't know. Just give me the lemon water. I like lemon water. Um, Least favorite. My least favorite, and I don't even know if this counts as a summer beverage, but I'm making it a summer beverage. My least favorite summer beverage is beer. I can't stand beer in any way, shape, or form. I think I drank it once playing beer pong in college, and I drank one swig of it, and I was like, this is freaking disgusting. And won't like I just oh. I can't stand beer. And my husband loves it. He's a craft beer guy. He's an IPA guy. He loves the heavy beers. I can't stand the smell of beer. I can't. I just oh, and I think of like, you go into the parades, the concerts, the cookouts. I keep thinking of beer, so that's why I classified it as a summer beverage. 16-year survivor. Oh, isn't that the good for you? Good for you, Susan. I love that so much. Summer beverages. Yes, yes. Congrats to Kim and Susan. Yes, yes. Oh, you ladies. I've got some very inspirational ladies in my group, and I love it. Unsweetened iced tea and a cup of cold brew. Yep. Oh, oh, no. No beer. Anyway, so there's that. Oh, I forgot to delete the how's the crocheting going, but I can update that. I kind of sort of started a new project. I decided that in order to get my rear in gear, I need to do a new like actually pick a project instead of just like let me practice this stitch. So I've been practicing my stitches on smaller yarn, which has actually been harder for me. For whatever reason, the smaller yarn is a lot harder for me to use than the bigger yarn. But I finally decided that I need to have a project. So I busted out, and it's not here because it's downstairs, the Harry Potter crochet book. And I was like, what is one of the easiest projects in there? There are only 3 with 1 lightning bolt levels of ease. One of them is the burrow blanket. And it's this big Afghan that's made out of this really nice alpaca and wool yarn. And they tell you where to get it. Half of 3/4 of the colors are out of stock right now. But I was like, before I go and spend what will be upwards of $200 on yarn, let me learn how to make the granny squares for it first. So I started making granny squares yesterday. And my first couple were terrible, so bad. My first completed one turned out like a circle, not a square, and I couldn't figure out where I went wrong. And then I figured out I was reading a single instruction wrong. And I was like, oh, if I do it this way, all of the holes make sense. Let's do it that way. And lo and behold, it was a square. So I'm working on granny squares now for the burrow blanket. And then when I get good enough, I will treat myself by picking up the yarn until I have all of the yarn I need for that blanket. That is my crochet update this week. Um, I can't stand beer either. I have been the DD for many beer tours for my husband. Yeah, I'll try whiskey. Vodka is my alcohol of choice. This might be a diet mindset or whatever, but I was always the firm believer in like give me the most efficient thing possible. If I'm going to go and get buzzed or get, party hardy, give it to me in a way that's going to help me consume the fewest calories, and beer is not it. So, I don't like lemonade. I got sick of it at his church event. Yeah. Oh, what? Powdered lemonade and goldfish. Yeah, I've never been into lemonade. I've never been into it. Let's see. Oh, I answered that too. North Carolina. Here, this was a new question. Do you sleep in quiet or do you need noise? What about your partner? I need quiet. I need quiet. So much so, and I learned this about myself just in the past couple of years. We tried the sound machine thing. I couldn't sleep with the sound machine on. I wake up very easily, very easily. And then my life changed. New Year's 2020, actually. New Year's Eve 2019, turn of the decade that was going to set the world on fire. We were in Virginia Beach with a lot of my husband's college friends. And one night we were there. There was a group of them that stayed up late and talking and were pretty loud, and I could not sleep. So I woke up and was grumpy the next day. And his friend Megan, shout out to Megan, who will never see this video, had earplugs with her. And she heard me say that, oh, it was so loud I couldn't sleep last night. So she gave me a pair of purple basic earplugs. And I slept like a baby the next night. It drowned out everything I needed to drown out, and I was able to sleep, and it was wonderful. And so when I continued to have problems sleeping at home, I was like, you know what? Those earplugs worked really, really well for me. I sleep in earplugs every night now, every night. And you know what? More often than not, I sleep like a rock. I sleep between the CPAP or the APAP and the earplugs. I sleep like a baby. And some nights, like a couple of times, I've woken up in the middle of the night and my husband, happened to make more noise than normal or something like that. And then I woke up. But like it is more often than not now that I actually sleep through the night, which is amazing. So I need quiet. My husband, once he falls asleep, it doesn't matter. But he turns on the little air filter we have for a little bit of white noise to go with the white noise of my machine, because my machine kind of makes me sound like Darth Vader. And he did say that to me one night. We're laying in bed, like just poking at our phones. My machine is on. He goes, of all the Star Wars characters that there are to sleep with out there, I get to sleep next to Darth Vader. Because that's exactly what it sounds like. That is, every time I breathe in, the machine goes off every single time. Or not goes off, but like it makes a sound. So I sound just like Darth Vader. So he sleeps with the air filter on to give a constant air hum to go with my breathing air hum. That's not overly loud, but in dead silence, you can obviously tell it's there. So he uses a little bit of noise. I use earplugs. At least a blanket like that is flexible. Yeah, it's true. But I really like the look of it. If I could think of one good color to swap out the orange for, I'd do it. But I was like, oh, I saw the Harry Potter crochet on your Instagram. Yes, yes. My goal, I want to crochet the Dobby. That's what I want to do. But I have to get a lot better first. So we're going to start with the burrow blanket. I listen to Christian music. I can't listen to music because the musician in me will turn on and I will harmonize and I will sing in my head, and I can't listen to music because I'm so musically oriented that it does not turn my brain off. I bought a light sound machine after I realized I struggled to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Sound machine. Interesting. Yeah. And if there was a constant hum of something that I was able to doze off to, I probably could do it with the sound machine too. For me, it's just when it's quiet enough and something jars me. That's what it is. So if there was a constant hum and my husband wouldn't get out of bed at night to go to the bathroom, I could probably sleep all night. But the second there is something off, I wake up. So for me, having to plug my ears is the best bet I have. Yeah. Yeah, no, earplugs. That's what I would do. Earplugs. Instrumental. I've told you guys about the Sleep With Me podcast, right? I haven't had to use it in a very long time, but it works. The Sleep With Me podcast works. This man has like a droning on voice, and literally he just talks nonsense. Half of the podcast is advertisements, it feels like. But you know what? You listen to him and you zone out and you fall asleep. It works like a charm. And wear earplugs because I need silence. Yep. I will never be without earplugs ever again. Ever again. I travel with them now because it's so helpful. Any luck in controlling the social media addiction? Oh. Now I have to yawn. It's all going downhill from here, you guys. um kind of sort of. Oh, and now my eyes are watering. Does that happen to anybody else? When I yawn, my eyes water. So all of a sudden I look like I've been crying, and when really I just yawned. Kind of, sort of. So in August, I implemented social media free Saturdays. Do you want to know how well the first one went last weekend? I immediately woke up and opened Instagram without thinking. And I noticed the second I did it, I was like, stop, whoa. Like, it was such an autopilot move to grab my phone, open social media, that I didn't even think about it until I had already pushed the button. But then I did, admittedly, I needed to look up something someone sent me. So I opened Instagram long enough to hop into the DM that I needed to get the information I needed. But oh man, it's one of those things now, even just today, I'm like, it's a bad addiction for me. It really is. But one of the things that I acknowledged just today is I have so freaking much that I need to do and not enough time to do it, that I am about 2 seconds away from keeping my phone in a different room. Whatever room I'm in, I just need my phone to be in a different room. Because I will sit and I will scroll, and I will sit and I will, oh, I need to make a reel, and but I need to scroll through some reels to find the right sound first, and all of those things, and I am just to the point now where I have so much I need to do because I want to get I want to start doing the heavy exercising again and get these muscles going again. And I want to do a lot more cleaning and tidying than I'm actually available to do right now. But I also need to sit at my computer and launch a website that I'm in the middle of working on. I was editing and uploading a video that needed to go live tomorrow because I have a pitch for my course that goes live for the VIP list on Friday. Course, group coaching. It's a mindset related video. And at the end, I pitch my course, group coaching, whatever the heck you want to call it. So it needed to go out tomorrow because it says tomorrow is the day, blah, 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 blah. So it was timely. And it was just all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm out of time and I have 5,000 things that I still need to do and want to do. And I'm struggling to find the energy for it, and I'm struggling to find the time for it. So I really, just today was like, I need to just start not touching the phone at all. Just leave it. Just don't touch it unless it's absolutely necessary to my work. So that's where I'm at with that. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do that playlist. Oh, here comes another one. Yeah. Put a fork in me. I'm done. Yeah, it baffled my mind at how quickly I opened Instagram without thinking. What are the cornerstones of your day? Like the 4 things, if not done, you feel like the whole day is off. Coffee. first thing in the morning. Um, in our Patreon group, we were sharing our morning beverages and talking about electrolytes and how I have started drinking electrolytes first thing in the morning before my coffee. And someone, Amberly, community member Amberly, who doesn't appear to be on here tonight, pitched in and said she throws collagen in her morning beverage as well. And I was like, if I put collagen in the electrolytes that I drink before I have my coffee, I have protein in my system and thus don't need to actually eat food because I still have protein in my system. This is brilliant. So I did that today and I was very, very happy about it. So coffee in some way, shape, or form, I need to have coffee in the morning. Is it Tuesday proved to me that it doesn't have to be a first thing in the morning thing? It doesn't have to be. I prefer it to be. I didn't get my coffee until 10 o'clock in the morning after I had gotten stuck with needles 4 or 5 times on Tuesday. And you know what? I survived. It was fine. But I like the routine of a hot beverage. I know the answer that's supposed to be in here is devotionals and quiet time with God. That should be a cornerstone of my day. Admittedly, full transparency, it has not been, and it needs to be. So I can't say that is the thing that needs to happen because it hasn't been happening, but you know what? It probably should. So let's put that as like 1.5. That should be happening, but it isn't happening. Movement of some kind. If I sit on my butt all day, and don't get me wrong, I want to. There are days I want to so bad. But like I've been sitting for the last 2 days, I've been sitting in this chair a lot. My butt hurts. Like my muscles at the very top of my hamstrings, where the hamstrings meet the glutes, that area, I'm in pain because I've been sitting. I can no longer sit all day. I have to do something, even if it's not exercise, even if it's not deliberately going for a walk. I have to get up and move and stretch and do something, or bad things will happen. So I have to drink coffee. I have to move. I have to. What are the? Oh, make my bed. I have to make my bed. I do not leave my bedroom until I make my bed in the morning. So the bed, this is just like turning into a morning routine. I have to make my bed, and I have to. Gosh, what's the fourth one? Kiss my husband. Kiss my husband. Probably. Yep. Um, those are the 4 like cornerstones, like have to happen or the whole day feels off. Other things that I do, and I see the answers coming in here. I have to drink water. I have to stay hydrated. I have to eat protein. If I don't eat protein, I eat. I eat. Has anybody else noticed that? Like, if you have a day where you don't have protein with breakfast, do you find that you're hungrier the rest of the day? Because there's a reason for that. It's very, very real. So that's like a nutritional cornerstone of the day, but I wanted to get away from just nutrition for the sake of these answers. Let's see. I think it's been helping. Yep. I also think so something to the productive parts without being able to scroll aimlessly. Yeah, and I have a thing for that too. My biggest problem is a lot of like I edit my photos on my phone. So if I go, "Oh, I got to post something," like this is where a lot of the stuff is, and the stuff doesn't always transfer over to my computer. Oh, Jordan Chops is messaging me. What does he want? Oh, apparently he's watching. And it's not letting him say hi. Hi Jordan. So I lost my train of thought. Y'all. I just need to do better. I need to do better, admittedly. Tomorrow, mark my words, y'all. Mark my words. I am, for productivity's sake, I'm setting my sleep cycle to go off between 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm setting my hue lights to start to like be on by 6:45. So I can be up at 7 o'clock at the latest because I need a swift kick in the pants. And so now I'm feeling like, okay, 1300 calorie Brianna is back. What else can we bring back? Like, all right, if we got to tap into college Brianna, let's do it, because college Brianna was super productive. And she was up at 5:30 in the morning to get to the gym. She was at dinner at 5 p.m. with her girlfriends every single night in the cafeteria. Like, she had her crap together. We gotta get her back. So if we're gonna be tapping into the calories like her, we're gonna be tapping into some other parts of her too. Mine are making the bed, breakfast and coffee, movement, and drinking plenty of water. Love it. Love it. Go to the bathroom. Like, I cannot get out of bed until I know I can get into the bathroom. That's fair. I do that too. If my husband gets up and happens to be in the bathroom before me, I will not get out of bed until I can get into the bathroom. If it was an emergency, I'd go to the other one. But all my stuff is in there. So I'll wait. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Man, did I pick one to end on for 8 o'clock. How do you get over anxiety and just have faith? It's hard. It's hard. So my gut answer was you don't. You just have faith. Like the get over the anxiety part. You don't. You just have faith. And that's the thing. Like, and so yes, there's help. And if you are somebody who needs help, I am on it's for sleep, but I am still on an anxiety medication. I take it at night, yes, but I'm pretty certain it's still doing its job when I wake up in the morning too, right? I take one a day. So even though it's for sleep, I'm on an anti-anxiety, and I also have a more intense anti-anxiety, which, thank you, Jesus, I have not had to take in well over 2 years for driving in the rain, because I've seemed to have chilled out about that just a little bit in a different car. But I do this. So, like, I take the steps necessary to help curb my anxiety. It takes a lot of soul work. It takes a lot of mind work. I'm in no way perfect. If I'm on TikTok too long, I start to get anxiety because TikTok's telling me about all the 5 million ways that the world is going to end tomorrow. Oh, we are for sure going to get monkeypox and polio and this new disease that they found. And I was like, how did we function with, like, ignorance is bliss, man. I love having the internet. The internet has literally changed my life in so many ways. It's how I met my husband. It's how I run my business. It's everything. But also, life was so much simpler when we didn't have every piece of information bogging us down all the time, you know? So controlling kind of the stuff that can cause anxiety. So for me, it's getting off TikTok. Oh, a new disease. Great. We're not going to think about that right now. I'm going to sit and focus on things I can control. And sometimes you have to subscribe to the ignorance is bliss thing because there's no more room on your plate, right? There's no more room on your plate. But ultimately, you don't get over it. You learn how to manage it and just have faith. And like, it sounds so simple, just have faith, but like, that's literally how I've lived my life. Just have faith. I don't know if this is going to work, but just have faith. And that doesn't mean just sit around and do nothing. I'm a firm believer, and like for me, like Kim's, yes, this is going to work for me. Just have faith that this is the thing that I needed to do. Yes, but I have to do the work, just have faith that everything's going to turn out okay. And sometimes it might not. And like, that's a whole conversation for a whole nother day. But ultimately, you don't get over it. You learn how to live with it. And then you lean really heavy into just have faith. Do what you can, but just have faith. So, all right, friends. On that note, I don't know if that was a sufficient enough answer or not, but we're going with it. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight. This was a lot of fun, as always. Susan, I hope that your packing doesn't cause you to cry too many more times. Just picture the end game. You're going to get there. It's going to be okay. And the rest of you, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It meant a lot to me. I will see you same time, same place next week. Sorry if y'all saw something that was like, oh, she's starting her live stream at 4:30. I will make an announcement if the time ever changes. So if that happens again, it's just, I was literally on the phone with my sister while I was making the thing happen, and I forgot to change the time. So don't worry, I will inform you if ever something is going to change. So I will talk to you all next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week.